Well, I was bumping along the open road when a voice come over my radio and said, baby, break her 19. She sounded sweet as apple pie. She invited me to drop on by. I said, baby, just exit 109. I said, 109, 109, park it where the sun don't shine. Baby, exit 109. 109, 109, easy to please and easy to find. Baby, exit 109.
You are listening to Undercountry Music with Neal Smith. Digging under the surface, finding the underground country music, news, and interviews, and bringing them to you.
Hello, Nashville, Murfreesboro, America, Tokyo, and the Ukraine. Especially the Ukraine and all those people enjoying South by Southwest down in Austin. You are listening to Undercountry Music. I'm Neal Smith. How you doing? Hey, it's episode 109. What the heck? It's party time. I'll do a line. Whoa! All right. Guess what? What do I have to report for the past week? I've been busy. I've been making deals, spinning wheels, and I got an awesome co-host on the line with me right now from Minnesota, up in the snow. We've got KOEHLER.
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. And, listen to this audience go crazy.
I know. I can hardly believe it. It's, I'm thrilled.
Yeah, I know. You know, if they weren't right here in my house, you'd almost think it was canned applause.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. The quality that I can get over the line here. It's good.
But you know what? I
feel like I'm right there.
I would never lie to my listeners like that. Every one of those applauding audience members are sitting right here, right now. Aren't you, folks? That's my crew right there. That's my posse. So, Corey, you've been a busy guy. You've been putting out recordings. You got a new album coming out, and we're going to get to all that in just a little while. But one of the most interesting things that I found out about you while I sort of did my digging is that you didn't actually start taking your music seriously until around the age of 30. You were just like a 9-to-5er, and then you finally got serious about music, at the age when, many people are well into their careers. So can you tell me a little bit about that?
I can. And really to be even a little more accurate, I would say I would probably be, I don't think I recorded. The first time I recorded a song was Change the World. And that was the first song on my first album, Never Too Late. And I recorded that probably when I was 35, maybe. So, it took even a while after, 30 to realize that, hey, maybe I should do something with this. And it was all kind of born out of, for many years. Well, not for many years. I played guitar, and I was kind of a metalhead back in back when I was younger.
All right.
I was.
Sorry.
I was. Yeah, exactly. I was a metal guy. I had the mullet, the high top, torn jeans. That's what I did back when I was in high school. It wasn't until I was probably in my 20s where I started appreciating some of my father's collection, like the Whalens and the Willies and that kind of thing. And then, classic rock, Eagles, stuff like that. So I kind of broadened my palette. But I sold all my guitar stuff when I was in college, just because at that point, I think beer and ladies were probably a lot more important than playing my guitar, So I know I kick myself every day for that, but yeah. So I didn't touch a guitar probably for from the time I was 19 till probably my late 20s. And I was at a friend's house, staying with him for a couple months, and he had a bunch of guitars laying around, and I was like, hey, that's right, I kind of know how to play this thing. So eventually along the line, I kind of discovered that I could sing too, and eventually I was just around so many campfires, and people keep telling me, man, you need to do something with that. You wrote that song? And I'm like, yeah, you know, and I had no idea. I was just like, you think so? Really? Nah, you're just saying that. You're just being nice, you know. But eventually, I took him up on it and just wrote some more songs. Got my ass to a couple open jams to get a little more reinforcement. And, well, I guess here I am now. Never too late, right?
Never, ever too late. Just ask Morgan Freeman. So, but, you know,
Yeah.
I think we got a good song from you, and it's all about fracking and refining. And it's called the Frack Sand Blues. Would you like to kick this one off for us? Tell us a little bit about it. You know, briefly wrap up this song for us, and then we'll play it, and we'll let some people hear some KOEHLER.
All right. Well, in a nutshell, there's just a big controversy kind of around our town. We don't have fracking mines or operations going around our town. However,
well, first off, explain what. No, I'm sure probably 9 out of 10 people listening to this, and that would be actually 1 out of the 2 people that listen to this, are sitting here wondering what the hell is fracking.
All right. Well, basically, it's like there's shale oil, you know, and I am no expert. I'm not a geologist, not like that. But there's shale oil underneath the ground, and what they do is they pump chemicals, they drill into it, and then they pump chemicals in it that extracts natural gas from the shale oil. And basically what happens is the stuff starts to, you know, this chemical that they don't tell you what's in this chemical, you know, it's proprietary, that kind of thing. But what happens is it's been getting into the groundwater, a lot of it out east. I think it's in the Pennsylvania area, West Virginia, those kind of places.
Well, that explains the accent.
Yeah. So the whole thing is like it basically your water starts on fire in some areas. It's totally destroyed water wells and water tables and all this other stuff, like in some of those areas. Well, we don't have that kind of operation going around where I live. But what we do have is something that's very important to that operation, and that something is they need sand, because the sand, they pump the sand down with the chemical, and then the sand kind of like rests into the cracks, and it keeps it open so that the gas can escape. But around here we have all this sand, and what they're doing is they're like carving up the hills around here because they want to get to the sand. It's silica sand. It's perfect for this operation. So you start cutting into hillsides and shaving off. I mean, like, when I say cutting into hillsides, I'm saying like they take and they remove hills. You know, like, imagine a hill there today, gone tomorrow, that kind of thing. And I don't know.
And you wrote a song about it.
I wrote a song about it because people needed to know about it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Undercountry Music, episode 109. We're going to listen to KOEHLER's song, The Frack Sand Blues. You're hanging out here with your show host, Neal Smith, and
KOEHLER.
We're walking by the river, by the sky-high piles of sand. Past the hot-hair-wearing man about his dream, his master plan. It's not just piles of sand, he said, the big piles of gold. We're gonna feed some mouths, move idle hands, movers of the totem pole. We'll even grease some palms if you wanna play some ball in the big leagues with the big boys, smoking fat cigars. Just loosen your belt, son. Got the frack sand blues. 3 states to the east, further down the rabbit hole. The water's on fire, the cost is higher while Mother Earth stands alone. They stick it with the needle, they sodomize her soil, pollute the blood of your unborn child in the name of a dollar bill. But hey, at least you got a job and a fist to fight the war. With those Persians and the terror in your empty tanks. Yeah, you scared yet? Got the frack sand blues. Got the frack sand blues. to raise my hand, a couple questions on my mind. They sent trade secrets, jigsaw puzzles, more wool for my eyes. I followed all the greed and the puppets take for sale. It's all about money, it's only sunny on the side of Capitol Hill. I can see your children with an empty glass and empty tears. Maybe you would too if you take those dollar signs out of your eyes. Come on, man. Got the fracs and blues. Got the fracs and blues. Got the fracs and blues.
And that was Corey KOEHLER with the Fracs and Blues. Nice. I've played that one on this show before, and I really like that a lot. And now I know more. Wow, I thought you were just talking about him doing funky stuff to the ground for oil, but I had no idea about removing entire hills, and that's what your song's about. And that one. Wow.
Yeah. Really, I think the biggest thing I want people to take away from the song is just that our government don't, just I just don't trust them. Skeptical of all those guys. So that's all. That's kind of where the whole thing came from. It's all about money. It's only sunny on their side of Capitol Hill, right? So that's the biggest message that I'm trying to get out there with that one.
Now,
don't trust your congressman.
Is this song going to be on your new album? You got a new album coming out. Is this song going to be on it?
Actually, the album is out, and it's called FM, and it is on there. It's, maybe just go on my website and planetcorey.com or iTunes or Amazon or, fill in the blank, Spotify, wherever you want to go to listen to music, it's on there. So,
all right. Now,
it's out there.
Now, you're doing something kind of unique with this new album, FM, and it's obviously there's a play on radio there, but I want to let you sort of tell everyone kind of this unique thing that you've done with this album.
Well, what I did is the whole idea behind and why I named it FM is because I do podcasts. I've always had this thing for radio. I've always loved radio. Like when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a DJ, that kind of thing. And everybody always tells me I have such a good radio voice, So I'm like, hey, I should just take the whole album and then I'll introduce every song like I'm doing a radio show, And so I did that. If you were on my website and you went to it's planetcorey.com/FM, you get the option of not only get the album, but you can also I'll send you a copy of that format. You don't have to pay for it or anything like that, but it's just the extended version with me talking about all the songs. So it's just like you're listening to a radio show. I just happen to be the guy that wrote the songs.
And the whole thing is in one big file. So the whole thing is just one big MP3.
Yeah, it's about the same size as it would, as an hour-long podcast would be. It's about right around there. So yeah, it's not too huge, but it's just something a little extra. I know. I was originally planning to do two formats. Like I would have one album of radio, and then I would have, with the album or the radio and the music, and then I have another.
Or
one
you could do a version for AM and make it sound like crap.
I could do that. That would be interesting. I don't know what kind of a market there is out there for that. Is there a lot of people out there, you think, that
there
that want AM-sounding CDs?
I can attest right here and right now that there absolutely is a market for crap, and there's no better representation of crap than mainstream country radio that keeps putting out the same song over and over and over and over because it's time for the Undercountry Music News. Corey, are you ready to get into the Undercountry Music News?
Yeah, I think I am. This should be interesting.
Yes, it should. And for those of you just joining us on the talk show format, just so you know, the Undercountry Music News is an excerpt of the larger internet broadcast / podcast Undercountry Music, which you can find, since you're probably getting about a half hour's worth of the show right here, you can get the full hour plus version